welcome back to Book a Lunch Date. So today we'll be making a very popular dish in America, kung pao chicken. I bet everybody have that, or seen someone order it, or that's your favorite dish from your favorite Chinese restaurant, something, but everybody knows this dish. So I'm going to teach a very simple version so you can make it at home. And I'll also talk about the history of kung pao chicken, why we have this dish and where it came from. Okay, before we start, let's go over the ingredients again. Okay, so we are going to use onion. I'm only going to probably use a quarter of it, but if you really like onion, you can add more. But if you like more spicy, or if you want other stuff, you can always add green pepper or yellow pepper to add the coloring. It's up to you. And then of course our chicken. So I'm using chicken thigh today. So that's chicken. If you prefer breast meat, you can also use that. Okay, but I feel like we use chicken thigh a lot more than breast. Okay, and then other ones, of course, the red pepper. So this is called, you don't want a big one. I know like if you go to the market, there's a lot of different kind of dried pepper on the market. So let me show you this one, if I can open it. There we go. So you want to use, it's called a Japanese chili pad. So it's not huge. It's about this size. So about the size of my finger. Okay. That's that, and salt and soda and oil, of course my rice wine, and this. You can probably, the chili garlic sauce, you can find it at any market nowadays. It's up to you which kind, but I think most people use this kind anyways. Okay, and then lastly it's our peanuts. You don't have to buy like specialized peanut, like just peanuts. Just use trail mix, right? They have peanut in it, and it's easy to find them. And if you are allergic to peanut, don't worry. You can always substitute with other kind of nuts. You don't even have to add nuts if you don't want to, but that really gives you a additional flavor. So nuts, I think it's really good addition. If you're allergic, you can substitute with walnut, almond, whatever. Store-bought is perfectly fine. You don't need to, make your own special nuts. Okay. All right. So while we're cutting, so let's start cut our onion. Okay. Again, I'm only using a quarter of it. So it's really easy. We are just making it a small cube. Okay. I'll put this. So what's kung pao mean? Kung pao, or a more accurate pronunciation, kung pao. Gong means palace. Okay. And bao, there's a multiple definition in Chinese, but bao has in the Qin dynasty, bao has a definition of a kind of like a position, like an emperor will give you a position as something bao. Okay, so that's basically someone's title. The reason is there is a guy, an official. He is a very good official. People like him, and he likes to eat spicy food. So what he did is, during his tenure as an official, he came up with this dish. And at first it's just like what he likes to eat at home, because he really likes chicken and he also really likes peanuts. So he put two things together, and he also really likes to eat spicy food. So he put these two things together. That's his favorite dish, right? And his family will cook for him, but slowly it spread out to everybody. And then basically what happened is people like it so much, and he's such a good official that he done a lot of good for the people. So the people name it after his title. So Gong means palace because he worked in the palace with the emperor and whatnot. And then his title has a bao at the end. So that so the people name it after him as Gong Bao. And that's why so Gong Bao is just the way we cook something. Nowadays you don't only have Kung Pao chicken, you can have Kung Pao pork, Kung Pao whatever, Kung Pao shrimp, you know, whatever you want. But the idea is that you're cooking something spicy, you're making something spicy and you're adding chili and peanut to it. So that's the idea of it now. So right now I'm just trimming the fat from my chicken, just a little bit, so it's at least healthier. Okay, so we're trimming it out. And again, if you're cooking anything, you want to keep the size consistent. So I want to make sure I'm not making it a big chunk because I cut my onion fairly small. So you don't want to cut your chicken like into a big chunk. Okay, and it'll be easier if we like make it into a bigger piece and then cut it separately. But again, you don't want to make it too small either because it will shrink once we put in heat on it. So you don't want to make it too small either. Probably just a little bit bigger than your onion. Okay. I really like spicy, so I really like this dish. But I mean, sometimes I just feel like they put too much chili and the whole dish is dry chili at some restaurants. So at home you don't have to add as much because the dry chili pad, it adds some flavor, but it really doesn't add that much spiciness to it. It just looks scary, but it's actually not that because the spicy part of the chili, as you might already know, is a seed. Alright, so if it's already dry, chances are it's kind of hard to open it up. So then it's actually not as spicy, but it will add different flavor to it. Just slicing it. Okay, so we're about finished cutting everything. I'm going to move my cutting board and wash my hands a little bit. Okay? I am back. So this is the chicken that I just did. I just cut a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is start seasoning, marinating my chicken a little bit. I usually do this using a spoon as my measuring, but I'll just add like a tablespoon to it. Okay, I really like spicy, so that's fine. A little bit of salt. You don't need too much of this because the pepper chili paste is already spicy, so if you add too much salt, it's going to be too salty. You can also add a little bit of soy sauce to it to make the color better, but you don't have to add too much. Again, this is just for the coloring. It's not for the taste. You don't want to make it too salty. You want to mix it. nice and spicy. I can smell the spicy now. It smells really good. And then what we are going to do is actually add a little bit of oil to it. It's going to help it separate once we put it in the frying pan. Because this dish is going to move really fast. Okay. So it's going to help it separate and kind of like adding a protection layer to it. And we are going to add more protection to the meat by adding some we call it tapioca powder, but you can also use anything that's powderish, really. But I think most people use corn. I forgot the term. Oh, brain freeze. I remember it every time I go. I need to say that term during my cooking live stream, and I always forgot about it. It'll come back to me. But you want to add this after you add the oil, because it's going to add the protection. That's going to be a protective layer around your chicken. So it's going to make it really good. And the oil is going to protect it, like separate it. Okay? So you want to add that in last. You don't want to add that first, because that's going to be a protection layer, and your hot sauce is not going to go into the chicken. Okay, so you want to make sure you're adding the tapioca powder or your the sticky. What's that called? Having trouble today remembering stuff. I'm getting old. All right, so we are done seasoning our meat. Oh, I think that's the chicken. Here, wash. All right. And because again, this thing's going to move really fast, so I'm just going to open my trail mix. It's spicy nuts and Cajun stick. It's going to go really good. Open it. Okay. So I'm going to set it aside. Alright. And if you're allergic, again, substitute with any nuts or anything crunchy, really. I mean, I tried it with, I guess you can add chips to it if you want, because that's crunchy too, right? But you don't have to. I still think peanut works the best. So I'm just adding. You want to add a little bit more oil to it, because the first thing we're actually adding meat. Okay, so you want to make sure your pan is super hot. Let me see. Let me lower the camera angle a little bit so you can see what's going on in the. Alright, that's a little bit better. There we go. Alright. Because this is going to move super quick. Oh no. It's okay. I'll clean it up a little bit. Let me get it a little cool. You want to, I need to make sure the pan is super duper hot. There we go. And when you're cooking, always make sure everything you need is around you, so you're not panicking. So like have a little lined up system. Okay, so a way to test whether or not your pan is hot enough, grab one of the wooden frying spatula or like chopsticks. I'm gonna use my chopsticks. Don't use a metal one. I guess you can use a metal one, but you want to put in something Then you just stick it in. You should have little bubbles around it. Okay, so that means your pan is hot enough for your chicken to go in. Okay, so you want to make it go in. Nice sizzling down, stir it apart. It has some moisture in it, so that's why it's going to like attack you. Right. And just let it sit. Once in a while to flip it. Oh, when I was marinating, I completely forgot to add in my cooking wine, but it's okay. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to add it in afterward anyway. Okay. And then what you're going to do is put it back in. You want to put it back into your bowl down here. It's going to continue cooking in there, okay? Because your chicken is absorbing all those heat, so it's going to continue cooking in there. But we're just going to work on other ingredients right now. Okay, so we're removing it. We're going to lower the a little bit so you can reduce the flame. What we are going to do next is, why do I have so many stuff today? Okay, we'll do this. I'll probably do it a little bit. Okay, stay. Okay, so I'm adding my onion. Okay, I'm not caramelizing it today because this dish is not supposed to be sweet. So I'm not caramelizing it like before, like using small amount of like cooking it slowly. I wanted to keep the spiciness of the onion. Okay, so right now I'm making it pick up the residue of the chicken, so the onion will have the taste of the chicken, so everything is balanced out. Okay. But because the onion is cooking at a different rate from the chicken, if I add it in all together, the onion will be overcooked and the chicken will be not done yet. So that's why you want to make sure you're cooking it separately first. And then, oh, and then add in my chili. In there, don't run away. Okay. You want to make sure you don't want to burn your chili. It's really easy for them to burn, and you can really taste the burnt. So you don't want to burn your chili. And as soon as they start changing a little bit of color, that's when you know they're good. Again, they're just adding a tiny bit of flavor to it. They're not doing much. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm moving all the food to one side of the pan, and then I am adding a little bit of alcohol to it, adding my spice. Oh, again, I love add more alcohol. See, I'm adding everything on one side because I don't want it to taste too much alcohol. So adding it on one side of the pan is going to reduce the amount of alcohol because the alcohol part is going to evaporate. So our sauce is all done. If you don't like too spicy, just add less chili pepper sauce. And introduce the chicken back in, stir it, and mix it. And remember the onion and the chili pepper actually pick up the aroma from the chicken when we cook it, so you don't want to wash your pan after you cook the chicken, okay? Oh, it smells so good. And my flame is not super hot, right? Not super like big right now, so you have more time. And after everything is kind of cooked, I'm probably only going to use half of it. Put it in and turn it off. Okay, I turn off the flame after you add in the peanuts. Because if you cook the peanuts, sometimes it becomes soggy, and that's not really good. That's not what you want. Okay. And we're all done. That's your kung pao chicken, easy peasy. And I'm pretty sure you can buy all the ingredients from. You don't have to go to a special Asian market or anything. Alrighty, let's put them away. Let's put those away. Let's give it a try. And again, if you cannot find the tapioca powder, or if you don't want to add more carb, don't add it. That's totally fine. You don't have to. The basic idea is there. Just add chili, the dried chili, veggies, so onion and chicken, and of course the peanuts or anything crunchy. So usually it's pretty small size. I would, because today the demonstration, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Usually I will let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes before I cook them, so the marination can like go in and the chicken will be more flavorful. But today I don't have time, but that's totally fine. So that can be a really quick and easy dish for dinner or for lunch, whatever, okay? So good with rice. We need some rice now. Okay. Bye guys, I'll see you next week, okay?